Hello everybody, GravyTrain here with another episode of GravyTraining. Today we are going to be doing I'm on a roll of videos here, but we're going to do this one. Is a hero spotlight on Zen. So jumping right in, Zen is a fast healer, and if you believe the splash screens, he is also one of the top healers in the game, which is kind of bullshit, but it probably was the case at one point. He's definitely useful right now. He's back to an S for the time being until he gets nerfed, which I anticipate is not going to be too far out. I would be surprised if we start the new year and something hasn't been done. So I'll go into his rune setup. Pretty much, you set him up ideally with as many festives as you can put on him. And you guys will remember, if you've seen the video I put out on the first team spotlight, that Zen featured prominently among those teams. So I've got a superior festive, an elite festive, a superior festive. So I've got 4 festives on him, 2 yellow, 1 red, 1 green. I don't have a blue festive, so I've got an unbreakable heart on him. If I had a blue festive, it would be here. His stats, his stats suck. He dies, he's got a ton of health from the festives and everything like that, and that's it. So, yeah, his stats are terrible. So he is a flying hero, so he takes less damage from melee attacks. He is fast, thus he attacks in the fast phase. Attacks first is a misnomer. Immunize. Every ally healed will gain impervious, cannot be poisoned, burned, frozen, chilled, shocked, or diseased for 2 turns, which is pretty nice because his heal is AE. He increases health by 25% for all light allies, which means Jin and Sifu and Marrow and Emily and anybody else. They're all going to be 25% more health, including himself. That's why his health is so high. He is beloved, so when this hero is killed, everybody else will attack the killer. And yeah, nothing extremely special yet until you start getting into his abilities. So his basic ability is a ranged spirit attack that adds an Aegis shield to him, not to the enemy, to him. So that's pretty straightforward, gives him some defense. It's also worthy of noting that this is his basic attack, so this happens when he does follow-up attacks. Safe Haven is his first ability. Removes all debuffs from an ally and gives them invincibility for 1 turn. Now, like most other buffs like this, invincibility is purgeable. So you can still be killed with invincibility as long as somebody purges it first. It does not get penetrated by shield piercing, however. I do not believe. I might be wrong there, but I don't believe so. His next ability is actually a fairly decent heal, although it's lower than Craw and some others. He recovers basically just under 7,000 health, split between all allies, same as Craw, same as Emily. And he gives them Silence Immune, cleansing any silence effects already applied to allies. So this is pretty nice, especially with Jin. So if he was able to act, he could purge the silence of everybody else. The problem is, unless you have Craw on your team, he's going to be silenced anyways with the Jin special. And because he's fast, you can't even put him after Dagrid or something like that. So you almost have to have Craw if Jin is on the team. And then finally, the probably single most overpowered ability in the entire game. It's not 1 time overpowered, although this isn't overpowered. It's not 2 times overpowered, it's 3 times overpowered. So it heals an ally for 57-45 health, that's with my stats. gives them haste and increases their speed for a turn. So that means effectively that's not even labeled properly. It makes them fast for the turn. I'm 95% certain, I could be wrong, 95% certain that even if you do this on a slow hero, they become fast. Although most of the time you're going to be doing it on Valken, so it really doesn't matter. So Enlightenment is a heal and a buff. They increase their speed and they get haste. Because of the way buffs stack in Dungeon Boss, this does not stack with haste itself, because this is a completely separate buff with separate characteristics. So whereas like some attack buffs will stack because they're not the same buff, these buffs will not stack because they are not the same buff, or they will stack because they're not the same buff. So what that means is that you haste Valken. Valken does his S2 or his S3 attack, which sets up Call to War to become one of the second or third variations, either infantry or cavalry, both of which provide haste. So he takes his first action, sets up the Call to War. The second action, he uses Call to War, which triggers haste. And because that haste buff, this buff is not haste, they actually get haste then after that. So you uber haste Valken, who then re-hastes himself and the entire party. So Valken gets 3 attacks total, and then everybody else in the party gets 2. The other nice thing about that is that if Emily is there, a lot of times if you're hasting with, say, Sifu or with Rocky or whoever else might be providing haste like that, you can apply the haste, and then Emily acts, and then she purges the haste buff. Well, because this, you take an immediate turn after Zen. So you're hasted, and then you haste again. There's nothing interrupting that haste in between. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty overpowered. I have a feeling this is gonna get nerfed. It's gonna have to. Like, they really need to. This is game breaking. Although I can show you my defense and how to counter it. But yeah, it's pretty disgusting. So now, bear in mind, this does have an energy cost of 6 turns, but that's not really a lot. Not when you can start with 5 energy runes, meaning you get access to this round 1. Or if you look at my team spotlight, with Indigo providing, basically being an energy factory, I can, with that team, I can use this ability every single round for 4 to 6 rounds. Without fail, one after another. As long as Indigo stays alive. So I'd be going up against a really defensive heavy team, and this will just keep coming up because every crit she does generates more energy, more energy. You're on a team also with Jin, so you're doing damage against shocked heroes or paralyzed heroes, which means you're going to be generating energy. You can literally do this over and over and over as long as everything works out right. It's actually more useful for longer battles to not have 5 energy runes and to go ahead and use, or 5 energy runes, and to go ahead and use Indigo on these battles. So I'm not going to go into PvP with this hero because basically the team that I spotlighted with him is going to be the team. So if you want to check out that, go to my playlist with the team spotlights, find the one that is Indigo, Zen, Valken, and Jin and Craw, and look at that. But that is Zen. So hopefully this helps it make a little more sense. If you're, oh, actually, there is one other thing I do want to cover then. It's how to stop this. So that covers the advantages to him. Now, to stop this team. You need a team, I'll go ahead and claim this. You need a team like this. So what I've got is I have an extremely ridiculously durable Lily with taunt and the skin and her max epic. Then I've got Craw, so you can't use Jin and disable all my heroes. And then I've got Malice, who I will be doing a video on maybe even today, I don't know, but we'll see very soon. And Jin, who I've already done a video on. So Jin is going to silence the incoming. You're going to stop the incoming silence. And basically Malice makes it so that she puts a debuff on everybody, making it so they can't be healed, and so that they take 2 times damage from demons. Now, all of the haste buffs, the one that Zen uses is a heal and a haste. The one that Sifu uses is a self-heal and a haste. So, because of that, even though they may have those abilities ready, they cannot cast them. Emily can't heal. If even one hero on the team has this on it, she can't do her group heal, because those heroes can't be healed. So it's pretty powerful. So this right here stops Zen from being able to even activate his haste ability round 1. Plus then everybody is probably, potentially at least, going to be silenced. This is going to stop anybody else from just kind of coming in and steamrolling. And then I've got, like I said, I think she's got 28,000 defense, something like that. We'll go take a look at her real quick. And I'll do a spotlight on Lily as well, but there she is. She has 27,000 defense, 4,700 attack, 10,000 health, little bit of damage reduction, and everything that's overpowered about the skin. So she's got massive damage reduction when she's in log form and all of that. So, and she's taunting the first round, so she'll draw all the fire. So yeah, that then completes the video. I hope this has been helpful. If you're getting steamrolled a lot by those Zen teams, just take a gander through this section. Look at potentially using a setup like this. At the very least, Malice, Jin, and Craw ideally, and then a really strong hero that can taunt, or that you can add a taunt rune here too, so that it's going to protect all of this stuff. Even the, like, I do get beat with this team on defense. Creepy beat me, Photon beat me, Jima and Ironheart. So I mean, I do get beat, but none of them. So we can actually look at, let's see, if we look at one of the recent ones, I don't have any of the recent ones either. None of these guys were using Zen. They all had to resort to basically Valken, Emily, Therend, and Dagrand in order to do this. And they would start with this, so it was actually starting with Dagrand. Dagrand, Valken, Emily, Therend was the team pretty much almost exclusively. When I do get beat, that's the team that they're using. And this isn't designed to stop that. This is designed to stop the Zen steamroll. I want, I mean, the team is really dirty, and it fights dirty. I want to stop people's streaks that are just rampaging across, button mashing, somebody that didn't come up with the idea on their own, that just kind of stole it. I want them to hit my defense and crash against it hard and go down in flames. So, and I mean, it definitely wins too. You can see here, like, other people have come up against it and lost. My overall stats, it's gotten worse in the last couple of days. For the first few days, it was 100%, and then it dropped. So, yeah, that's it. I hope you found the video useful. Thanks for coming out. If you did, hit that thumbs up. I appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and comment below. Thanks, everybody.